Before getting to WWE, you mentioned some key name. Before getting to WWE or WWF at that point, you had the opportunity to work in the independent circuit with guys like Jushin Thunder Liger, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. How was working with those guys prior to reaching their peaks of their careers, respectively?
It was man, because I was at that same point too, right? Like I wasn't as wise. I look back at those matches and they were very raw and so much heart into them, but I see the mistakes. I see the mistakes as a wiser veteran, you know, and they would say the same thing looking back at that, you know. I mean, I'm not going to sit and break down for you right now, like what the mistakes were, but you know, it's just things that you notice now looking back. But you know, like some of those guys, yeah, I ended up working with them later on as well. And we had all grown. We had all evolved, you know? And so, yeah, no, man, it was different. It was different working with those guys before and after, you know? And I just remember my match with Liger. I was so nervous, man. I screwed the whole thing up, man. Like I tried to jump up for the Silver King would do this dive right from the corner to the floor. And I used to do it. Like I was inspired by, you know, I say inspired, but I stole it from Silver King and I completely screwed it up. And like Liger's looking at me like, you know, and I was like, I fall off the ropes and he gives me a polite applause. And I felt like such a dumbass.
Man, you mentioned something really important, and your career started way earlier than people recall. Like we remember the X-Pac or the Sean Waltman that was on the WWF, but you had an independent career and it started, as far as the bio and everything says, in 1989. Yeah. What inspired you to become a pro wrestler? Of all things, you could be a lawyer, you could be a doctor, you could have been anything, but why a wrestler?
It's the only thing I ever wanted to do. You know, just to shorten up the story, like I went to a wrestling match, my first match, Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair. I fell in love with wrestling, and from that point on, one track mind. I knew this is what I was going to do. I did everything I could to learn everything I could, you know, prepare myself. I even started like wrestling in school, taking martial arts, you know, and just learned everything, man. I just soaked it all in, you know? So I can't remember what the original question was because I've been rambling too long now.
No. What inspired you to become a pro wrestler? So, yeah, you basically answered. Yeah.
Yeah, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes.